land of the rising sun, motor racing is king. And Fuji Speedway, at the foot of Mount Fuji, just one of its iconic racing facilities. This, though, is the battleground for the latest encounter of the 2014 GT Asia Series. The world's greatest sports cars going head-to-head for domination in the fastest growing region on the planet. And with the onslaught of Typhoon Niraguri, there was an extra challenge added to the weekend's highly competitive 2 rounds of racing. Thankfully, when it comes time for the obligatory pre-race photos, the storm had dissipated, at least for the first part of the weekend. 2014 is turning out to be GT Asia's strongest ever contingent. With every race weekend, more and more world-class drivers and GT experts are attracted to the series. This weekend, Fuji attracts over 35 entries. Let's take a look at some of them. Two of Thailand's top drivers, Piti Purabhakti and Vudikorn Indra Pulvasak, enter their Singer-sponsored Porsche 997 GT3R. Returning to the GT Asia fold from Japan and in the Audi R8, Francis Heidegger Honda. And for Aston Martin and Craft Bamboo Racing from the USA, Kevin Gleeson. Another youngster coming in for Aston Martin, this time from Australia, 18-year-old Jonathan Venter. And another Aston Martin man, the factory driver in the number 97 Vantage V12 for Craft Bamboo, the 2013 GT Asia winner here at Fuji, world-class GT stalwart Stefan Muka of Germany. And coming in to bolster Audi's hopes this season, another German sports car ace, 25-year-old Christopher Mize. Mercedes-Benz enter their super quick SLS GT3 in the capable hands of former Formula 3000 and Indy star Joel Komathias of Switzerland. Japan, with plenty of knowledge of the Fuji circuit, Katsumasa Chio. Very impressive and fast Nissan GTR GT3. He's teaming up with fellow Japanese Robert Hurry in that Nissan. And finally, returning to GT Asia this year, Porsche Carrera Cup Asia star, Chinese-Canadian Wayne Shen in the 997 Porsche number 16. Just a few of the stars at this weekend's rounds 5 and 6 of the GT Asia Series from Fuji Speedway. Now, coming into this weekend at Fuji, certainly one of the favourites for a win is the factory McLaren driver from the UK, Rob Bell. Together with Hamaguchi-san of Japan, they've been one of the most consistent packages of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we've been 4 podiums so far, so we need for sure 2 more today and tomorrow, and yeah, it's good. I mean, the competition's very high, so we will have to see what our tyre strategy is, but I think we're in a good place.
Rob's teammate, Hiroshi Hamaguchi, has driven well, but has had some bad luck spinning at crucial stages. But as he says, he's still learning.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, we had a private test last week here, and I adjusted the car just for me. So I'm quite confident. I'm very confident actually with the car and myself. So it's just going to be something different from past 2 races.
Their teammates at Clearwater Racing in the number 3 Ferrari 458 is the former GT Asia champion Mok Wen-sung of Singapore and Japan's Ketasawa.
Oh, I think I'm not thinking of the championship anymore. After our DNF in the first race, I think it'll be very hard to come back. But again, our goal was to try to be as consistent as possible, as many podiums as possible, and I think we're hopefully in a good place to achieve a podium here today and keep the points scoring. But we want to make sure that if it's not my car that wins, we want another Clearwater car to win.
One of the lead Aston Martin challenges comes from the number 9 of NB team Italian Max Visa, Xianxing.
Yes, for sure. Aston is one of the best GT cars at the moment. We chose this car because we think that was very easy to drive and at the same time is very competitive.
And they've proved it, having been on the podium with some excellent gentleman driver stints, China's up-and-coming GT3 driver Xianxin.
Yes, for sure, we are very happy, and I have to say thank you to my mate because he's a new driver. I mean, his experience he started from 1 year, but he's still doing a good job, still improve his driving style a lot, race after race.
Their teammate at NB Racing is the Mercedes-Benz SLS Swiss driver Joel Komathias, who's racing in Asia for the first time in his distinguished career.
But really good, you know, I'm coming from an European Championship, the GT Open, who is mainly based in Europe. And coming here, you see, there is a quite good, field. You have more than 30 cars, good drivers, good teams, good cars. So it's really enjoyable.
Another recent newcomer to the series, but another driver with years of experience around the world, is Portugal's Luey in the Spirit of Race Ferrari 458. Teammate Nasrat Muzayin.
Yes, I think for us, every time we get a top 10 finish, it's very good. Anything, top 5 for us is difficult at the moment. If we get that, it will be a bonus. Like if we had in Korea the first race we have with the safety car, we had P5. Nasrat is doing a lot better. He started well. He's already under 10 seconds, I think around 8 seconds slower. He's improving, and I hope we can achieve to get within 5 seconds of my time. Would be a very good result for us.
Met him about 3 years ago, and since then he's been teaching me most of the tracks in Europe, a lot of the tracks in Europe. And now this is new for us here in GT Asia, so I'm hoping that with all the good teaching we'll get somewhere. We at least get a few poles this year. I think I need to be, because it's the first time for me here, trying to learn the track a bit more and more. And the team, the mechanics and the pros are outstanding.
Coming off a busy schedule in Europe, including an appearance for Aston Martin at the Le Mans 24 Hours, is German factory driver Stefan Muka.
Great to be here again. It's very tough competition out there, very strong cars, very strong lineups, and I think it will be very tight tomorrow in qualifying. Yeah? So there are not big gaps between the cars, and we don't know who was out on new tires yet and who wasn't. And so let's see. I think I'm expecting a very tight qualifying and very interesting races as well.
The problem for top drivers like Stefan at a place like Fuji, especially in qualifying, is traffic.
Yeah, no, traffic, I mean, it's part of the championship. It's normal that you have traffic, but that's also good for a driver. You have to manage your way through the traffic without any contacts and still to be quick. That's the challenging bit. Not only the ultimate lap time, also manage the traffic. So I like it, it's good racing.
There's also a lot of interest this weekend for a new team to the series, the all-tie challenge of Singer Porsche 997, Viti Borombachti and Futikon, the AAS Motorsport team.
GTA is a series that including a lot of professional drivers and all the GT3 car. We're glad to be part of GTA here, and I make a right choice on coming and race here in Fuji.
Quite an old friend here, a very fast guy, and everyone, we feel very comfortable. We know, I think, most of the team, so they welcome us like a family, so we feel very comfortable.
When racing back in Thailand on the GT car, which is about 7, 8. And the track in Thailand is very small. So I think it's an opportunity for us, it's me and Kun Wutikon, to do some change and do some racing outside Thailand to gain more experience and use the car more.
The two Thai drivers have been very successful at home. Now can they emulate that success on a bigger and more challenging international circuit? Well, one man who's been racing Porsches with great success over the years in GT and in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia is Modena Motorsports' Wayne Shen, as he rejoins the fold in 2014.
Well, I hope to do better. I seem to be do reasonably well in quality, and then something always doesn't go quite right during a race, so I'm planning to change my luck this time. Well, at least got to get on the podium. I think some of the guys are pretty quick, and it remains to be seen what the pace for each car is during the whole, I think, the 1 hour race. So we'll see.
The new kid on the block, 25-year-old German Christopher Mies, who has a wealth of experience and success in Europe, but is coming to race in Asia for the first time, will be expected to get Audi back to winning ways.
Oh no, I don't have pressure because I'm the new guy, so no one expects something from me. But the race is at least 1 hour, so anything can happen, and we just need to survive. It's a big tire use here, so we are struggling with tire wear. Yeah, but I think it's the same problem for everybody.
So Audi, Porsche, Ferrari, Aston Martin, and then add McLaren and Nissan to the mix, and the 2014 GT Asia Series couldn't be stronger. We'll take a short break here on Motorsport Asia. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Jonathan Green bringing you Motorsport Asia's coverage of InSide GT Asia, which comes to you from the iconic Fuji Speedway, Japan. Built in the early 60s, Fuji Speedway hosted Formula 1 in the 70s and has always been a popular venue for drivers and fans alike. GT racing is a particular challenge here with a very long straight and a lot of undulation and tight and often blind turns throughout. 4.5 kilometers in length with 16 turns, set up as a compromise between top speed on the main straight and getting through the tight turns with maximum mechanical grip.
Well, very nice, you know. Everyone knows Fuji. Yeah.
I like it's a very interesting track. Technical, it's actually fairly easy.
I like the fast parts there on the back. So corner second, 3, 4. I like that the first section is very nice.
So the most difficult part is the corner 4 and 5 because it's the fastest one on the track.
I don't like personally, you know, the slow corners, and the last part, the last sector is quite slow. You know, you have a lot of changing of direction.
I find the second and third sectors, especially the third sector going up the hill, the most challenging. It's not the scariest place, but it's actually quite tricky, and you can lose a lot of time making small mistakes.
The last sector is very technical. It's very slow. It's quite tight, but technical, very challenging. I don't like the long straight, because it's basically down to the power of the car, right?
Challenging, it's very undulating, so a lot of hills, blind corners.
It's a lot of fun, you know, heavy brake zones. It kind of has it all, so a lot of fun.
2 rounds of the series will be contested here, and after the torrential rain from the typhoon the days leading up to the race weekend, pre-practice was a washout. Everything cleared though for the first of 2 qualifying sessions. And after the first real dry session, no surprise, local track knowledge paid dividends for Japan's hometown hero, professional ace Kitasawa, who used that track experience to take the pole at 140.966.
Happy, and especially here is my hometown, so happy.
Sawa's Clearwater teammate Rob Bell of the UK in the McLaren had to settle for 2nd place, but it was still a front row start at a time of 1:41.677.
Yeah, it was good. Probably went a little bit better than expected, actually, if the truth be told. I think with the cooler temperatures, it helps our car a little bit.
Pushing his Ferrari 458 to the limit, Portugal's Luey bounced his way across the challenging curbs. He would take 3rd overall, 1:41.9.
Because too many cars, we slow down and the tires were not ready. The 3rd lap, the tires were ready, then we got the red flag. I was under half a second until the back straight.
Behind the top 3 was a good battle for P4 between Audi, Porsche and Aston Martin and Nissan. And in the end, it was the new youngster, Christoph Mayes of Germany, who took 4th overall for Audi.
Just now it was quite good. I mean, I qualified P4 and had a failure, ABS failure, so I didn't have ABS at all.
Actually, the tires dropped off, so we haven't used the peak from the tires. So I expect the car to be better in the race for sure. That was just not a perfect qualifying.
But for me, qualifying was a disaster. We did not get one single clear lap, especially through the last sector. So we're pretty slow.
I want to show our good performance for the race as well. Strong, look like Godzilla. Yes.
On then to qualifying for round 6. New tyres for Aston Martin. And once again, perfect conditions for fast lap times. And this time it was the non-professionals at the wheel. Mok Wen-sung setting a commendable 1:43.0. The Ferrari for 3rd overall.
Very good, right on target.
Anthony Liu in the number 37 458 was 2nd, with 1:42.8. And racing on home soil, it was Japan's Hiroshi Hamaguchi with a brilliant 1:41.8 in the McLaren. That took the pole for round 6. Anthony Liu had to settle for 2nd.
They put new tires at the last minute, so but it's okay, the race is long.
Before the lap 1 and 2, before my flying lap, I was stuck in the traffic. So I knew I was going to get into 41s, but on my 3rd run, I finally got the clear lap, and the Porsche helped me a bit with the slipstream. Now I'm happy.
Hiroshi drove a fantastic last lap at the last possible opportunity.
and Tsai did a great job in the first session. I think all the boys drove well today, so very pleased with the outcome.
After qualifying, it was a chance for the fans to get involved in a pit walk and autograph session. After the break, we'll find out what happened in the action. 5 and 6 GTH. Welcome back to Motorsport Asia's look back at GT Asia's round 5 and 6. Jonathan Green reporting from Fuji Speedway in Japan. Let's look back now at the action from round 5. Rolling start down the long Fuji straight, but as the 30-plus field filed towards turn 1, it all got a bit murky for Clearwater as the teammates touched, with Rob Bell hitting the back of Tsai.
First corner, I kissed him a little bit, just pushed him on a little bit, which I apologised to him for. It was just a small error.
Mr. Rob hitting me a little bit, but still we are okay. We could stay on the track.
If that was a kiss, German Stefan Muka was not quite so affectionate, with Ferrari rival Luey hitting the back of him, much to the displeasure of the Portuguese driver.
And Aston Martin, the 97, just keep on hitting me 3 times on the back. And not happy once, 2, 3 times, and blew away my tire.
That meant an unscheduled pit stop and out of contention.
Yeah, some accidents happening, so one car went wide, I got hit by a Nissan from the back, then I hit the Ferrari in front of me because of that, so we had a little damage to the car.
As the race surged on, Muka, the 2013 Fuji winner, maintained 4th place, chasing down the Nissan GTR, Katsumasa Chiyo, with Rob Bell politely giving back the lead to teammate poleman Tsai.
And then the next lap, when he came past, I let him have the place, so then it was that was fair.
All good and well, but then someone else was ringing Rob's bell as the Nissan. The straight line was a missile, and before long they were in a huge tussle.
And the Nissan caught me up, which was very, very fast down the straight, incredibly fast. So then we had a really good battle until I pitted.
The best view in the house for that battle was 4th placed Muka, who decided he wanted to get involved as well. Chiyo was on self-preservation mode.
I take care for the tire because we have same tire for the next driver.
Out came the safety car with mirrors flying. A reflection then of the hard charging by all early on. At the restart, Tsai and Bell continued at Clearwater 1-2 with the Ferrari ahead of the McLaren. Then Joel Mathias, with a little too quick into turn 1, clipped a Porsche and ended up with no room, with no view.
The first corner I brake on the dirty side and I went straight and I hit another car, so I'm sorry for the team, for my teammate, for the other car I hit.
The SLS Mercedes was left stranded for the rest of the race. Luckily, the damage minor, he would be back for round 6. Then there was a great battle for 4th place between Kiwi Craig Baird, 458 Ferrari, and the newcomer for Audi, Germany's Christopher Mies.
My car was strong in areas and his car was strong in areas, and they're both opposites, so both pushing as hard as we could, but that's what racing's all about.
We always gave us the room we needed. It was good, fun battle.
At the pit stops, Chiyo missed his pit entry and he pushed to the right spot, losing him valuable time, especially when he'd been vying for the overall podium finish.
Yeah, so I had a mistake and so did regulation. Mistakes of stop degrees and the mechanic push back and correct position, and we have lost time a lot.
Tsai handed over to Mott, with the Ferrari still leading. Any hope of a victory challenge for Frank Yu and the Aston Martin soon dissipated when Frank took over the car from Muka.
We lost the part of the front splitter, and as the race went on, the splitter came very, very loose. And I got into the car. After 2 laps, it basically dropped to the floor.
On then to the checkered flag, a victory for Tsai and Mok Wen-sung, winners now in Fuji, previously at Autopolis in Japan. Needless to say, the Japanese driver delighted.
Woohoo! Love it. Woohoo!
So on to a look back at round 6. And while things were perfect for the fans and the autograph session leading up to the race, things changed dramatically just before the start. As the weather that had lashed the mountain earlier in the week turned to a typhoon, returned with gusto. Treacherous conditions for the rolling start for round 6, and nerves were high for the less experienced gentleman drivers. They certainly weren't holding back. Anthony Liu in the Ferrari passing the pole man Hamaguchi to turn 1. His now trademark outside move.
I think I had a good start, but I went too conservative on braking, so Anthony got me there.
Then while leading, the 37 was given a drive-through penalty for crossing a line. His teammate David Arrizzo was furious. The Spirit of Race Ferrari was soon out of contention.
On the drive-through lap, he crossed the demarcation line, and then he needs to do a drive-through.
Meanwhile, Aston Martin were driving through turn 1, Frank Yu missing his brake point. And another Clearwater Ferrari, this time Richard Wee suffered early retirement after making contact with several cars.
Was overtaking a few cars, but I think I got a bit too aggressive and I made contact, and it's the end of the race.
Out front, Hamaguchi led, but now the Tsai team of Vutikorn and Petey were charging through the field using the inclement conditions to their advantage, pushing to second place with Mock in the Ferrari third. As they sowed their way through traffic, Vutikorn made the decisive move to take second using the traffic.
They got stuck with some car in the front. That's why, you know, I get the better line and pass 2 cars.
He was really quick, and he managed to get both of us when we were fighting our way through the back markers.
He then went after Hamaguchi in the McLaren in the closing stages.
I tried to defend myself, and I could.
At the changeover pit stops, McLaren 32 remained in the lead, but Petey came out in second place in the Singapore show. Number 3 Ferrari of Sauer was third. But then there was more drama, as Petey Burumbakti spun in the closing stages from second place.
Because the wind stop and start, and I run over the speed on the, I think it's 4th corner, on the Cola corner, and I spun out. But luckily that did not hit anything. I get back on the track.
Then amazingly, a stop-go penalty for the 32 McLaren of Bell and Hamaguchi while leading the race.
It's difficult, you know, because we were leading the race with 10 minutes to go and we got a drive-through penalty. I think it's something to do with the pit lane time.
Either way, it was then a battle between Sauer in the Ferrari and Mize in the Audi. The Japanese struggling to keep his tyres alive.
We knew, or we thought it would be raining, so we put a rain setup on, which worked quite well.
That time I felt the tire grips, a lot of tire grips comes off. So last 5 laps, I could not control 100% even.
In the closing stages, it was a classic battle as Mize took the lead, but Sauer, in determined mood at home, would not accept second place. Down the long straight, he retook the lead into turn 1 while still struggling with tyre grip. The headlights flashing on the back marker, and this is an opportunity for Tsai. He comes up the inside, brakes very late indeed, holds off the Audi and takes the lead again. But only briefly, because here comes the German again. What a race, and back markers as well involved.
I tried again for braking for turn 1, but I could not turn. So he came inside cross line.
In the end, the last run back up the famous Fuji Hill to the finish, Sauer had to give way, and the young German on his debut weekend in the series and in Japan, Christopher Mize wins round 6 in Fuji. His teammate Jeffrey Lee just as delighted as the pair celebrated.
To win a race is never easy, but today we managed to do it, and thanks to all the guys. I mean, this was quite fantastic. I'm here for the first time Japan, and I just enjoyed it, and yeah, so it was great racing out there.
So Christopher Mize of Germany does what Audi expected, and that's winning in Asia. And a look at the championship after 6 rounds. Rob Bell and Hiroshi Hamaguchi lead the way with 86 points. Keta Sauer and Mok Wen Sung have 71, so too does Frank Yu. David Rizzo and Anthony Liu, they have 64. Max Visa and Jiang Xin of China on 50 points ahead of Jeffrey Lee, who now moves to 40 points in 10th place overall. Clearwater Racing lead the Teams Championship with 157 points. Craft Bamboo AMR with 114. Absolute Racing moved to 3rd for Audi with 85 points, and the Ferrari of Spirit of Race, who led early on in the season, now have 70 points in 4th place. MB Team, the new boys, are 5th overall. In the GTM class, Thomas Fordbach of Denmark still has 78 points ahead of Jackie Young of Hong Kong with 72, equal with George Chow. Francis Chair is 4th equal with Wayne Shen. They both have 50 points, and Takuma Aoki, who led early on in the season, drops now to 46 and 6th overall. Great weekend of racing from Fuji. Very, very different weather conditions throughout the weekend in rounds 5 and 6, but it brought the best out of the drivers. We now move on in the series to rounds 7 and 8 in Sepang in Malaysia in August. Until then, from me, Jonathan Green, goodbye for now.